On Christmas night in 1945, an incident happened in West Virginia, America, which even today sends shivers down the spine. A man named George Souter was celebrating Christmas with his wife Jenny Souter and 10 lovely children. Every face was lit up with happiness. But who knew that this night was going to turn into a bad dream, a nightmare that has remained an unsolvable mystery till date? It happened like this, that it was around 1 o'clock in the night when suddenly a fire broke out in the house. George and Jenny ran out with their 4 children, but the 5 children sleeping in the room upstairs disappeared forever. Neither their bones were ever found, nor any other trace. Did they really burn in the fire, or were they kidnapped? Was this fire really an accident, or was it set with special planning? Once again seen in the videos of ZTV well-wishing spectators, this is not just a story, but a mystery that is still surprising the world. Let us try to understand each and every aspect of this unsolved mystery. George Souter was a hard-working Italian immigrant who was strongly against the Italian dictator Benito Mussolini. This is the reason why he was forced to leave Italy and live in America. Speaking openly against the Italian dictator could have become a problem for him, but he never showed any fear. In America, he was running a trucking business, and luckily, he also had his own house. His wife, Jenny Souter, was a dedicated housewife who looked after her children with love and discipline. On the 24th of December 1945, Christmas Day, Souter's children were playing with their new toys. It was night, and the 5 children went to sleep in their beds in the upstairs room. At around 1 o'clock in the night, Jenny's smoke is felt in the house. When she goes to see, she finds out that the kitchen has caught fire due to some reason. George and Janie come out with their 4 children, but the 5 children sleeping in the room upstairs are left inside. George tried every possible way to save them. When George Souter ran towards the second-floor window, he saw that his ladder was missing from its place. Then he thought that he could reach the window using his coal truck. But when he turned on the ignition, the truck did not start, and the other truck was also not working. The people present there tried to call the fire department, but unfortunately there was no response. Later, when somehow the fire chief was contacted, the fire brigade arrived hours after the accident. Everyone was thinking that due to some reason the house caught fire in which 5 children were burnt to death. But this case seemed as normal to see and hear as it was. It was also complicated. Next morning, when the investigation started, the officials also gave a similar statement and closed the case. They said that the children were burnt to death due to fire. But this was beyond everyone's understanding because the bones of a human body cannot turn into ashes even at a temperature of 800 degrees Celsius. Especially those parts of the bones which contain calcium, which also includes human teeth, do not turn into ashes even inside the furnace. Then, how did it happen that due to fire in Souter's house, not 1, not 2, but 5 children's bones were not found, nor any teeth? Later, forensic investigation also confirmed that the duration of the fire was not so long that it could turn the bones into ashes. This was very shocking. That's why the Souter family rejected the investigation report as soon as they woke up. Investigation team. The reason for the fire was a short circuit in the kitchen, but George Souter said that he had recently got all the wiring done afresh, and there was no question of any fault in it. When George Souter tried to recall the moments of the incident, he remembered some things which indicated some problem. At the time of the fire, when he picked up the phone to call the fire brigade, the wire was cut, and this was also proved in the investigation that the phone line of Souter's house was indeed cut by someone from outside, because when a phone line is broken or cut, its edges are not smooth. But when cut with pliers, the edges look quite smooth. Later, Jenny Souter remembered that the phone rang at exactly 12:30, and there was a woman on the other end who was laughing loudly, to which Jenny said wrong number and disconnected the phone. If the phone line was cut at 1 o'clock, and just half an hour before, she had received a strange call. So this meant that the phone line was cut half an hour before the fire. This night was full of strange incidents. A few minutes before the first phone call and the fire, Janie heard the sound of something falling on the roof. When she did not hear anything further, Janie turned over and went to sleep. A few minutes after that, she smelled smoke. Apart from this, the ladder that George kept was missing from there at the time of the accident and was recovered from a field far away from the house. Both of George's trucks, which were working perfectly till a day before, broke down during the fire. Due to all these incidents, George Soder's doubt turned into belief that his children were not dead, but were kidnapped. But how did someone run away with them in such a noise? When the investigation's answer is the story, a few months before this accident, an insurance agent came to George Soder, who was forcing him to take home insurance. But when Soder flatly refused to take insurance, the agent finally left, threatening Soder that he will take his own money. You will realize it when your house catches fire. Did someone use the fire to divert people's attention and kidnap the children at the same time? Another theory is that George Soder's outspoken statements against Italian dictator Mussolini did not go down well with the Italian mafia. That is why the Italian mafia made him their target and took control of his children. Some people also claim to have seen Soder's children at different places after the fire. A woman said that she saw the children in a hotel with a strange couple. Other reports say that they were seen being taken away in a car. So many mouths, so many opinions. It has been confirmed that Soder's children did die due to the fire. Otherwise, where did they go? After a year of the accident, some new evidence has come to light. The investigation team, which had earlier said that the cause of the fire was a short circuit, has been proven wrong. New investigations revealed that the fire was set deliberately. A bus driver was passing by at the time who said that he saw some people throwing something like a fireball. A few months later, when the snow melted, a round rubber-like object called a pineapple bomb was found near the house. Jenny remembered the sound she heard a few minutes before the fire, which was due to something falling on the roof. Perhaps it was this pineapple bomb. George and Jenny devoted their lives to finding answers to this mystery. They left no stone unturned and followed every possible lead. They made a big billboard with pictures of the missing children and also promised a reward. After about 20 years, in 1960, Jenny receives a letter. In this letter, there was a picture of a man who looked very similar to their son Louis, and the only thing written in the letter was this: "Louis Soder, I love brother Frankie." Was this letter really written by one of the 5 missing children, or was it a prank? George and Janie hired a private detective to investigate the letter, but no trace of Louis Soder was found. Years passed one by one, but the mystery remained unsolved. George Soder died in 1969. Janie and the children who survived kept trying to find answers about their missing siblings. Janie did not leave the family home after George's death. She fenced the house and built new rooms. For the rest of her life, she always wore black clothes out of grief. After Janie's death in 1989, the family finally took down the old and worn-out billboard that was put up for missing children. Were these children victims of a tragedy or part of a big conspiracy? This is a mystery that will probably never be solved. I hope you will like and share this video. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.